My beloved child. This message did not arrive by accident, and you did not press play by coincidence. Someone close to you is standing at the edge of a realization that will change how they see you forever. They have watched you quietly, closer than you think, noticing patterns even you overlooked. Right now, their mind is replaying moments with you that once felt ordinary but no longer do. Small conversations, unfinished sentences, your silence at certain times, and your strength when no one expected it. All of it is aligning into one picture they can no longer ignore. They are beginning to see a side of you that was hidden in plain sight, a power that grew while you were busy surviving. And the moment they fully understand what they are seeing, the balance between you and them will never return to what it was before. Something is forming behind the scenes, and it is moving faster than you realize. Listen carefully now, because this is where everything deepens. This person is not a stranger, and that is what makes this moment so intense. They share history with you, proximity with you, or an emotional thread that never fully broke. For a long time, they believed they understood your limits. They thought they knew how far you could go, how much you could handle, and how much space you would occupy in the world. But recently, something disrupted that belief. They saw you remain calm where others would collapse. They saw you walk away from what once defined you. They noticed how your presence started to command attention without effort. This confused them at first, then unsettled them. Now, curiosity has turned into concern, and concern is turning into awareness. They are realizing that your growth was not loud, but it was undeniable. And once this awareness fully settles in their mind, they will be forced to respond to you differently. There is a moment approaching that cannot be paused or softened. In that moment, this person will finally connect the dots between who you were and who you are becoming. They will see that your patience was not weakness, your silence was not emptiness, and your distance was not confusion. It was preparation. They will recognize that while they were distracted by surface-level noise, you were building something internal that cannot be shaken. This realization will not come gently. It will arrive as a quiet shock, the kind that steals someone's breath without making a sound. They will question their past actions toward you. They will rethink words they once spoke casually. They will replay moments where they underestimated you. And as this understanding settles, one truth will become impossible for them to deny. You are no longer someone they can overlook, control, or casually influence. Stay with this message, because the shift does not stop there. Once they truly see your potential, their emotions will enter a state of conflict. Part of them will feel admiration, because strength commands respect even when it threatens comfort. Another part of them will feel fear, because your growth exposes what they have not faced within themselves. They will wonder how you changed without asking permission. They will wonder how you outgrew old roles without announcing it. They may try to observe you more closely, speak to you differently, or test your boundaries to confirm what they sense. But nothing they do will reverse this awakening. The truth is already settling in. You have crossed a line they did not expect you to cross. And from this point forward, their behavior toward you will be shaped by what they now see, not by what they once assumed. Now hear this final part carefully, because it carries weight. What is unfolding is not meant to frighten you, but to prepare you. When someone close to you finally recognizes your true potential, the dynamic between you changes forever. You will feel it in the way they look at you, speak to you, or fall silent around you. This is not something you need to announce or explain. Your presence will speak for itself. The awareness rising within them is irreversible, and it is only the beginning of a much larger shift. What comes next will reveal who is able to grow with you and who was only comfortable when you stayed smaller. And as this realization completes itself on their side, your path will become clearer than it has ever been before. My beloved child, what you are stepping into now is not loud, dramatic, or obvious, but it is powerful in ways most people never learn to recognize. The person who is beginning to see your potential will not announce it openly. Instead, they will carry it quietly, like a weight they did not prepare for. You may notice subtle changes before you ever hear a word. A pause before they respond to you. A hesitation where confidence once lived. A strange attentiveness to your choices, your timing, your calm. They are trying to understand how you reached this point without asking for approval, without needing validation, and without collapsing under pressure. This realization forces them to confront something uncomfortable. Your growth exposes the truth that they stayed still while you kept moving forward. And that truth creates a tension they cannot escape, because it places you in a position they never imagined you would occupy. Pay attention now, because this is where perception becomes reality. Once someone truly sees your potential, they cannot unsee it. Their mind will replay your actions differently. Your past mistakes will suddenly look like lessons. Your silence will feel intentional. Your patience will appear strategic. They will begin to realize that you were never lost, delayed, or unsure. You were observing, learning, and strengthening yourself while others underestimated you. This awareness may cause them to behave unpredictably. Some will try to get closer, hoping proximity gives them comfort. Others may pull back, unsure how to stand beside someone who has outgrown old expectations. What matters is not their reaction, but your awareness of what is happening. You are not imagining this shift. It is real, and it is unfolding because your presence now carries weight that cannot be ignored. There is something deeper happening beneath the surface that few talk about. When someone close to you recognizes your potential, it challenges their identity. They must question who they thought they were in relation to you. Were they a guide, a protector, a leader, or someone who believed they were ahead? Now that image is cracking. Your growth forces them to reevaluate their position, their choices, and their direction. This can awaken respect, envy, inspiration, or insecurity, sometimes all at once. And while you remain focused on your own path, they are quietly adjusting to a new reality where you are no longer predictable. This is why your calm matters now more than ever. You do not need to prove anything. Your consistency will speak louder than explanations. The more grounded you remain, the clearer the truth becomes to everyone watching. Understand this clearly, because it will protect your peace. Not everyone who sees your potential will know how to handle it with maturity. Some may attempt to test you, to pull you back into old dynamics where they felt comfortable. Others may subtly seek reassurance that you are still the same. But growth does not move backward, and neither should you. This phase is about discernment. Notice who respects your evolution and who resists it. Notice who listens without needing control and who speaks only to regain footing. You are not responsible for easing their discomfort. Your responsibility is to remain aligned with who you are becoming. The clarity you carry now is the result of everything you endured quietly. And that clarity is what makes your presence powerful without effort. Now stay with me, because this is only the threshold. What this person is beginning to see is just the surface of your potential. There are layers within you that have not yet been revealed, even to yourself. This realization happening around you is a signal that you are entering a new chapter where influence, purpose, and direction align. The way others respond to you will continue to shift, but your role is not to manage their reactions. Your role is to walk forward with confidence, humility, and awareness. The recognition you are receiving now is not random, and it is not temporary. It is the result of becoming someone who no longer needs permission to stand in their truth. And as this understanding deepens around you, the path ahead will begin to open in ways that once felt impossible. My beloved child. What unfolds next will feel subtle on the surface, yet profound beneath it. As this person continues to recognize your potential, their internal dialogue will grow louder, even while their outward behavior remains restrained. They will measure their words around you more carefully. They will think twice before making assumptions they once spoke without hesitation. This is because your presence has shifted from familiar to significant. You are no longer someone they simply react to. You have become someone they consider. That change alone alters power, influence, and emotional balance. They will begin to sense that your future carries momentum, and standing near that momentum feels different than standing near who you used to be. This realization brings awareness, and awareness always demands a response. Now understand why this moment matters more than you think. When someone close to you sees your potential clearly, they also begin to see possibilities they once dismissed. They imagine outcomes that involve you in roles they never pictured. They recognize that your decisions will soon carry consequences beyond yourself. This awareness creates a quiet urgency within them. They may feel compelled to align with you, support you, or seek reassurance that they still matter in your life. Others may remain silent, unsure how to approach someone who has stepped into a stronger sense of self. Either way, their attention toward you becomes intentional. Nothing about their observation is casual anymore. You have crossed into a space where your choices are noticed, remembered, and weighed. There is a deeper truth emerging here that deserves your focus. Your potential did not suddenly appear. It was forged through restraint, reflection, and resilience. The reason this recognition feels intense is because it validates what you already sensed within yourself but never needed to declare. You grew without announcement. You changed without explanation. And now, the world closest to you is catching up. This can feel isolating at times, because growth often creates distance before it creates alignment. But this distance is not loss. It is clarity. It reveals who is prepared to walk beside the version of you that no longer fits old narratives. And that clarity is a gift, even when it feels uncomfortable. Remain grounded as the energy around you continues to shift. This person's awareness may bring questions, curiosity, or even quiet comparison. Let it. You do not need to shrink to make others comfortable, nor do you need to explain your evolution to be understood. Your steadiness will answer every unspoken question. The more you remain authentic, the more undeniable your presence becomes. This phase is about integration, not reaction. Allow others to process what they see while you stay committed to what you know. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are here to embody it fully. Hold on to this final thought as this chapter continues. What is happening now is preparation for something larger than recognition. It is alignment. As those around you adjust to who you are becoming, new paths, connections, and opportunities will begin to appear. Some will come through familiar faces, others through unexpected doors. Trust the timing. Trust the process. You are not late, and you are not early. You are exactly where you need to be. And as the understanding around you deepens, so will your confidence in the path ahead. My beloved child. What happens next will not announce itself with noise, but you will feel it in the atmosphere around you. The person who now sees your potential will begin to sense that time with you carries a different weight. Conversations will feel charged, pauses will feel intentional, and even silence will speak louder than before. They will realize that being close to you now requires honesty, awareness, and growth on their part. You are no longer someone they can approach casually. Your presence demands respect without asking for it. This shift may make them uneasy, because it reveals a truth they can no longer avoid. You have outgrown the space where excuses lived, and that realization forces everyone near you to look inward. Understand this carefully, because it explains what you may soon observe. As their awareness deepens, they will begin to compare who they are today with who you are becoming. This comparison is not spoken, but it is constant. They will notice your discipline where they once noticed flaws. They will see your boundaries where they once saw distance. They will recognize your self-control where they once expected reaction. This internal comparison creates pressure, and pressure always reveals character. Some will rise to meet it, inspired by your growth. Others will struggle, because your evolution highlights what they have delayed within themselves. This is not your burden to carry. It is simply the natural response to witnessing someone step fully into their strength. Stay steady now, because steadiness is your greatest asset in this phase. You may sense subtle attempts to pull you back into familiar roles. Old jokes, old expectations, or old assumptions may resurface as a test. These are not attacks, but indicators. They show where others are still adjusting to the new reality of who you are. You do not need to confront these moments aggressively. Your calm refusal to regress will communicate everything. Growth does not argue. It stands firm and allows truth to surface on its own. The more composed you remain, the clearer it becomes that this transformation within you is permanent. There is also something important happening within you at the same time. As others recognize your potential, you are being asked to recognize it more deeply yourself. Not with pride, but with responsibility. This awareness invites you to move with intention, to choose wisely, and to protect your energy. You are entering a period where your decisions influence more than just your immediate circumstances. This is why patience, clarity, and self-trust are essential now. You are not meant to rush this stage. You are meant to inhabit it fully, learning how to carry your growth with grace and confidence. Let this truth anchor you as this chapter continues. When someone close to you finally sees your potential, it marks the end of one era and the beginning of another. The past no longer defines how you are treated, and the future begins to open in subtle but powerful ways. You are stepping into alignment with who you were always meant to become. Those who can walk with you will reveal themselves naturally. Those who cannot will fall away without drama. And through it all, your role is simple. Remain true, remain grounded, and allow the path ahead to unfold with clarity and purpose. My beloved child. As this realization continues to unfold, you will notice that the atmosphere around you becomes more intentional. People will listen more closely when you speak, even if they say very little in return. The person who now sees your potential will feel a quiet urgency, as if something important is slipping past them and they must decide how to respond. They will recognize that your direction is no longer uncertain. You move with purpose now, even in stillness. This awareness creates a silent pressure, because potential is not just about what you can do, but about what you are becoming. And once that truth settles in their mind, they will understand that the future will not wait for those who hesitate. This is where your awareness becomes crucial. You may begin to sense moments where their energy shifts unexpectedly. They might seek your opinion more often, or they may grow quieter around you, measuring themselves unconsciously. This is not confusion. It is adjustment. They are learning how to stand in the presence of someone who no longer fits the version they once relied on. Your growth challenges their assumptions, and assumptions are comfortable only until they are proven incomplete. Do not mistake this shift for distance or doubt. It is recognition taking shape, and recognition always arrives with uncertainty before it settles into respect. There is a deeper layer to this transformation that you must understand. When someone close to you finally sees your potential, they also realize that you are capable of walking paths they cannot follow. This awareness can feel heavy for them, because it introduces the possibility of separation, not through conflict, but through evolution. Growth changes proximity. It changes conversations. It changes expectations. And while this may feel bittersweet, it is also necessary. You are not meant to remain where you no longer belong. Your journey requires space, clarity, and alignment, and those elements naturally reshape the relationships around you. Remain centered as this chapter intensifies. Your strength right now is not in reaction, but in consistency. Continue to move with integrity. Continue to honor your boundaries. Continue to trust the quiet voice within you that guided you this far. The recognition you are receiving does not require validation, and it does not require defense. It requires presence. The more grounded you remain, the more others will understand that this transformation is real, stable, and intentional. You are not experimenting with change. You are embodying it. Let this final truth settle deeply within you. What is happening now is not the peak of your journey, but the confirmation that you are on the right path. Someone close to you seeing your potential is a sign, not a destination. It signals that your growth has reached a point where it can no longer remain hidden. From here, new doors will begin to reveal themselves quietly, one by one. You do not need to rush toward them. Walk forward with trust, patience, and clarity. Everything unfolding around you is aligning to support the version of you that is ready to rise. My beloved child. As this awareness deepens, something subtle but undeniable will shift in how you are perceived in shared spaces. The person who now sees your potential will sense that your presence carries authority without effort. You will not need to speak louder or explain yourself more. Your energy alone will signal that you are no longer seeking approval. This realization will cause them to reconsider how they approach you, how they involve you, and even how they speak about you when you are not present. They will begin to understand that you are becoming someone whose absence is felt just as strongly as whose presence is respected. That understanding changes dynamics permanently, because it introduces a new level of seriousness into every interaction. Stay aware, because this stage reveals truth through behavior, not words. You may notice moments where they attempt to mirror your calm, your discipline, or your clarity. This is not imitation for appearance, but an instinctive response to someone who has stepped into alignment. Others may ask indirect questions, trying to measure how far you have come without exposing their curiosity. These moments are signals. They show that your growth has become visible enough to influence the emotional climate around you. You are no longer moving unnoticed. Every choice you make now sends a message, even when you say nothing at all. There is an internal shift happening within you that matches what is happening outside. As recognition grows around you, your tolerance for confusion, inconsistency, and misalignment will quietly fade. You will feel a stronger pull toward clarity, purpose, and peace. Situations that once drained you will begin to feel unnecessary. Conversations that lack depth will lose their appeal. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. When your inner world stabilizes, your outer world reorganizes itself to match. And those closest to you will sense this before anyone else, because they are used to the older version of you. Hold your ground as this phase tests your patience. There may be moments where the person who sees your potential tries to anchor you to the past, not out of malice, but out of familiarity. Old stories, old labels, and old expectations may surface as a way to confirm whether you are truly different. Do not take the bait. Your evolution does not require debate. Let your consistency be the answer. The more you remain steady, the clearer it becomes that this transformation is not temporary. It is who you are now. Let this truth settle as you move forward. When someone close to you recognizes your potential, it is not just acknowledgement, it is a signal of transition. You are stepping into a chapter where your influence expands naturally, without force. The path ahead will demand discernment, courage, and trust in yourself. You have already done the hardest part by becoming aware of who you are. Now, allow the world around you to adjust. What is meant to walk with you will align. What is not will quietly fall away. And through it all, you will remain grounded, clear, and ready for what comes next. My beloved child. Now you are entering a phase where recognition turns into consequence. The person who sees your potential will begin to understand that your presence changes outcomes. Decisions feel different when you are involved. Situations resolve faster, or at least more clearly, when you are present. They will sense that your intuition is sharp, your timing is precise, and your restraint is deliberate. This realization will quietly reposition you in their mind. You are no longer background. You are no longer optional. You are becoming a reference point, someone whose reaction matters even when you remain silent. That shift is powerful, because it happens without permission and without announcement. Notice how this awareness begins to influence their choices. They may hesitate before making moves that once felt easy. They may seek alignment rather than control. This is because your growth introduces accountability. When potential stands nearby, excuses lose their strength. Your calm exposes unnecessary chaos. Your clarity exposes avoidance. This does not mean you must correct or guide anyone. It means your presence naturally elevates the standard. Some will appreciate this and rise to meet it. Others will feel uncomfortable, because growth reflects what they have not addressed. Either way, the dynamic has changed, and it will not return to its former shape. There is also a quiet strengthening happening within you at the same time. You will feel less need to explain yourself and more confidence in letting results speak. You will trust pauses instead of rushing to fill them. You will recognize when to move forward and when to remain still. This inner stability is what makes your potential visible to others. It is not ambition that draws attention. It is alignment. And alignment cannot be imitated for long. The person watching you will eventually understand that what you carry was earned through discipline, patience, and self-respect. Remain mindful as attention gathers around you. Not all attention seeks connection. Some seeks reassurance. Some seeks comparison. Some seeks validation through proximity. You are not required to respond to all of it. Discernment is essential now. Pay attention to how interactions make you feel after they end. Do they leave you clearer or heavier? Supported or drained? Growth invites awareness, and awareness protects your energy. The more selective you become, the stronger your path becomes. Let this final understanding guide you forward. Someone close to you seeing your potential is not the destination. It is confirmation that your evolution has reached a visible threshold. From here, your journey becomes more intentional, more refined, and more aligned with your purpose. You are not meant to slow down to accommodate old expectations. You are meant to move forward with clarity and calm. What is unfolding now is preparing you for what comes next. And what comes next will require exactly the strength, awareness, and depth you have already developed.